Well, Darren, I can't believe it's March when we last spoke to you on BBC Radio Somerset. How big a challenge has it been from going from lockdown to getting to this stage, a playoff game with Barnet this weekend?
I think everyone probably suffered the same problems in lockdown. I think just being comfortable at home is quite challenging. So it's been a test, but you know what it always felt like. I don't know if it felt like this for everyone else, but it always felt like we were waiting for something. You can't even enjoy the break. I know it was under really difficult circumstances for everyone, but you couldn't even enjoy the sort of breather because you was always on edge. Are we going to be back? When are we going to get told? What's happening with social distancing? Everything in the life of a footballer or a football coach. I suppose everyone really had that such indecision in their life, and I thought that was quite fatiguing in its own right. I don't feel like I've been on a break. I feel I've only been back 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm tired already. So it's not really been a period of being able to reflect. I think we was all holding so tightly onto the present of what are we going to hear today? When's Boris going to speak next? Are we going to be allowed to clap our hands in public, or and so on and so forth? So it's been very very challenging for everyone. But coming back was nice. It was good to see the players. It was a very very strong bond in our dressing room between our players. They're very big in terms of their characters. And the first week, I've got to say, was carnage. It was chaos and mayhem because I think everyone felt like they had 3 months of jokes and banter and humiliation that they had to get off their chest before they kind of really settled down. But it's been very enjoyable. The enjoyment has been because we're obviously preparing for such a big game. And we've come so far. We obviously wanted to be put in a position where we could finish off our story, our journey, and we've got what we've asked for, so we've tried to prepare as best we can. But no, it's been a demanding time, very demanding.
On life, hasn't it? How big a game is it for Yeovil Town on Saturday, given that everything that's happened in the world over the last few months?
Well, I think if you just isolate Yeovil, it's a huge game for us at Yeovil because obviously what's the type of finishes to the seasons we've had in recent years. It's been a nice sort of reprieve for the supporters not to have that real sort of drama come the end of the year where we're looking over our shoulder. We're kind of guessing, hoping and waiting that other people win and we don't get, we're not put into a. Let me just admit someone. So yeah, I think it's been good for them. Now, obviously, they can't be in the ground, which is obviously really disappointing for them and for us. But it's nice to be able to give them something back. We had when I look back and when I think to myself, when I joined, what were the expectations? We had 8 players in the dressing room. 4 of them were 18 years old. This was not an expectation. Playoffs was not an expectation. The only thing in my mind, when I joined in June, was, are we going to be able to get a squad together? Are we going to be able to get a team out? Are we going to be able to be competitive? Are we going to be able to win a few games? And all I really wanted to do in the year was try and give the supporters a largely a winning season, not have that drama with, flirting with relegation, and kind of build from there, try and build some foundations, sign some players that were going to be here for more than a year, and start building a real sort of togetherness in the squad. So for us to be in this position is beyond what we expected. It's beyond what I expected. And I think that if the supporters were honest, I think it's beyond what they expected. Then all of a sudden you go and win 7 games over the course of 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. And, some people thought we should have won the league by Christmas, which is bonkers, absolute balmy. But no, it's been a real journey to this point, and a real story. Even the drama that we had in the FA Cup and things like that. It was it's been a tough road.
And now you're in the playoffs. What's the character? Is it promotion? Is it Wembley? Is it Notts County? Just beat Barnet and take on Notts County and then face that challenge?
No, I think now that you're in the playoffs, I think we should just throw the rest of the year away and lose every game and go on holiday.
I know you don't mean that, Darren. I mean, do you know, because you said about the expectations at the start of the season, but now you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm more mocking you there than being. I'm really sorry about that. But no. Look, we've only got Barnet. The only game we're guaranteed is Barnet. You know, we'll look at other games if they present themselves. It's going to be again. I think if you bring it back to expectations, to expect to see the same product on the pitch Saturday as we've seen before lockdown, I think would be madness, absolute madness. The players are in nowhere near the same condition. They've not got that wear and tear of a season. They haven't got that rhythm and flow and things like that to them. You know, I'm really open-minded to what kind of product we present there on Saturday. What we, you know, of course, what we want to see is some real determined displays of some really powerful physical performances, and we want to see a real will and effort to win the game. But I think to look beyond that, I think would be a big mistake on my part and maybe even the supporters' part, because you know there's been such a long break. It has been a long break, and the time in order to prepare. I know it's 2 or 3 weeks of preparation time, but it's nothing like being in the ebb and the flow of the season where you're working off of a defeat, so your motivation probably driven and fueled by anger and disappointment, or you've won a few and you're driven by confidence and real sort of free spirit. But so I'm really open-minded what will happen Saturday. I've made no assumptions. I'm leaving sort of even picking the team to the very, very last minute because I want to make sure that the plan for the game is correct, and to just start with the best team or the team that finished or what we think we know about players, I think would be wrong. We're in a completely different world right now, in the football world, and I think I'll give myself the best possible chance of picking the right team for the whole course of the game.
And how is your squad looking? Is everybody who was available in March available to play for you now in July?
Yeah, well, to answer your question is, and we've obviously had a very pleasant surprise in having Reece Murphy back out on the training pitch. Lawson Diaz been out on the training pitch. Goldo Mateo's been out on the training pitch. So we've had a strong group of players out there. We haven't quite had the numbers that the Notts counties have had, but a good strong 18, 19 players. So we've got good competition. The boys that have come back from injury, even Craig Wilcock, they're in different places to some others, as you can imagine. I'm not sure what their game time will look like or what they'll be able to do physically. And hopefully, as most of you know, a lot of our good performances are all based on a real powerful physical performance. And like I said, I think that's got to be at the forefront of my mind before picking that team or choosing whether to use someone who's been out for 3 or 4 months or not.
How big a miss will the Yeovil fans be on Saturday? You can correct. Were you at Bristol City Sheffield Wednesday when I was commentating? Yeah, I thought that was you. What were you doing there? Just scouting a game behind closed doors?
I was. No, I was doing some work for a friend. But what I did, what I wanted to do, I wanted to kind of feel the behind closed doors environment. I wanted to see what it looks like. I wanted to kind of see what it sounds like. Obviously, you can hear every word the coaches say. You can hear what the players say. I just wanted to kind of get ahead of the curve, really, on that, and just get a bit of a whiff for it, really. And it was very entertaining. I thought it was very entertaining, and I'm glad I did it. I did it another couple of championship games, and I feel better for doing that.
And what's your message to the Yeovil fans who've stood up, haven't they, in the last few weeks with this tremendous effort with the crowdfunding? They won't be there on Saturday. What's your message to the Yeovil supporters who'll be watching and listening to the game on Saturday?
Well, I think whenever we've had to call upon our supporters, you kind of get that inclusive feel of what it is like to be in Yeovil when we sort of had this call to arms. and their support and their input has been incredible. And yeah, we're a small town. We're just because we're considered a bigger club in this league. We're not a massive football club, but the supporters' input and their encouragement, determination, their passion, they're all the things that are expected when they come and watch us. And for the first time, when we really needed that type of commitment from them, they stood up unbelievably. I mean, to raise the level of funding that they did for us and obviously for the NHS, I thought was a wonderful, wonderful gesture. And again, just shows you our power. It shows the power of, the world, and whether it be sport, in particular sport, because when these calls go out and when these kind of challenges are set, I think that's when you see sport at its most powerful, when it's, in its message, in its togetherness, in its drive to try and keep this part of our lives. And they did that. And I've tried to instill this into the players in the time we've been back, that even though they're not here physically, they're not physically in their seats, we have to feel them. We have to feel their presence. We have to feel what it means to them. The 2 or 3 that moan at me every 3 or 4 minutes in the game, they won't be there. I'm not going to miss them, but it's no. We have to feel their input into our club and what they've done for us, because what they've done for us and the way they've stood up to be counted it's been absolutely marvellous.
And what finally of the challenge of Barnet on Saturday? I think they were just 6 points behind you in the league table. They have lost some players since lockdown. What kind of test will they bring to Hewish Park on Saturday?
Well, anyone who's in a playoff competition, they're a good side. You can contextualise it however you like in terms of the league and the standard, but good teams, end up in the top 6 or 7 towards the end of the year. And these games are always tight, very nervy. They can sometimes be a bit of a bad spectacle for people watching outside. And I think that's why that drives my open-mindedness to the performance and to what we can expect, or what we should expect, or what we should assume. Because I think there's so many different variables out there on Saturday to consider, that I think your expectation, you've got to be really open-minded. But they're a good side, and Darren's done terrifically well, taking on from the start the job he did from season before, and they were kicking into gear. As statistically that stands very strong. They were really kicking into gear at a very good, very important stage of the season. So it'll be a tough game, very tough game.
All the best, Darren. Thank you.
Thanks.